is in service. Yeah. In fact, what I'm doing here right now is an active service in honor of the Most High. And so in everything that we do, it's a call upon service that we do
active
right
service
by.
That pays the bills. Huh?
Let's get onto the phone lines right now. Felicity Havenyos join us. Felicity, good morning. Trust that you're well.
Yeah, good morning, Mawuena. Yes, I'm better today than yesterday.
Fantastic. We're doing well too. We're doing well. The rest of the team, everybody is doing well. I monitored, and these days my monitoring skills is appearing to be quite top notch. Slight drizzles in some part of the capital again this morning. Is that what we'll be getting used to as the Harmattan draws closer? And what are we to expect today?
Yeah, thanks so much. And I'm loving your observational report. Yes, we'll be having rain, and then a time to have thunderstorms accompanied with the rain with moderate winds. For today, this morning, cloudy weather is expected over the coastal strip, and then we expect some rain showers over some places. The intensity will not be high, very slight intensity. For the other part of the country, expected to be partly cloudy, and the sun will also set in. And then by late afternoon into the evening hours, we expect some localized developments of rain and thunder over the Volta region, part of eastern into the central and western flank of the country. Those in Ashanti region, just a few areas will experience rain today. The extreme north will have sunny weather. Temperatures will be on the higher side, and then the heat may also start disturbing. So they need to protect themselves. They need to drink a lot of water.
And what are we to expect in terms of what the ocean is supposed to be like as well?
Yes, for the ocean currently we are having some rain and thunder clouds towards Nigeria, Benin, and Togo area. So fisher folks need to take precautions if they want to navigate towards that direction. For Ghana waters, we expect it to remain rough today too, and then the thunderstorm clouds are likely to drift into our space with possibility of light rain or slight rain with thunderstorms and then some moderate windy conditions.
Right then, Felicity, thank you as always for bringing us the weather update.
Yeah, most welcome.
And that's Felicity Ahafianyo with the weather updates for us this morning as we ready ourselves to get into the news review segment. Seven to the top of the hour. Let's get straight into it. Michael Obodu is here. Sixtus Don Ullo lurking around the corners of the office somewhere. He'll join us shortly on air as well as we get into the news review segment. We'll start off this morning with our online portals, but before even that, quite a number of developments across the spectrum. Yesterday, we were talking about the Auditor General's report that appears to have piqued quite a number of interest, with some asking that the Auditor General should be relieved of his duties. I don't know what you make of it, but let me start off with 3news.com. Has a big picture of the President John Mahama, says that Ghana is first African country to contribute financially to International Fund for Public Interest Media. It'll be interesting to get that. And the National Service Authority saga, Auditor General must resign for sleeping on the job. That's according to Martin Pebu. Study of English language in our schools has not been cancelled. That's according to the Education Ministry. They've been providing explanations over the last few days following the minister's comment at the 75th anniversary of Maoli School that the use of L1, that's local dialect, to teach is now compulsory in respective schools. There's been, a flurry of reactions, some asking questions as to what is the policy position, how is this going to be implemented, and all of that. And so there's been subsequent explanations that, look, it's not all throughout junior high school. It's from preschool to about primary 3, where you then just get enrolled on or subsequently to use the English language, because then you would have understood the basics.
See, that's why I have a problem with, and I think it was important that
that clarification came through.
Especially the directive from the presidency about ministers announcing policies and the likes. I don't think this conversation was something for a podium event, because this is supposed to be a very well thought through policy that looks at how to tighten all the knots and getting this implemented. Because the question is, what is local language to who? Because if you're in a cosmopolitan area like Accra that has kids from various backgrounds, various ethnic groups, what then becomes their local language to teach them in? And those are the critical questions. The other question too is that what is the capacity of the teachers when it comes to the local language delivery? How many of the teachers can even speak local languages that their students understand? And we need to be able to fine-tune the policy to address some of these things, but announcing it in a blanket form like this, I think it raises a lot of eyebrows, because I don't see how you're going to implement this effectively. Because if the teacher doesn't speak, for instance, a teacher teaching in a Hausa community speaks Twi, and the primary language of the pupils as probably Hausa or something, how does the teacher then teach them in the language he can't speak? Those are some of the things that we need to look at. But coming out blanket, I think I understand what the minister is trying to do.
I mean, it's been in existence, just that it wasn't being probably enforced as would be expected.
So the question was, what was the challenge with it? And how do we address it, rather than just coming to rehash an already existing policy?
No, it's really compulsory now.
That's my point. Without any clear direction on how it's going to function. And I doubt that even the teachers on the ground have been engaged on this. And that's one of the problems with how we go about policies. You'll be interested to know that when the syllabus was reviewed, teachers were met for a day or two to review a policy, to review syllabuses that they were going to use to teach their kids for a whole term. How is that supposed to happen? For a whole year? How's that supposed to be effective? And that's the problem about how we go about implementing policies in this country. We need to take a step back, review what didn't work, see how to make it work, rather than just coming out and announcing things that we haven't really, Charlie.
You wanted to say thought through. It does appear.
Your words, not mine.
No, I said you wanted to.
Okay,
I didn't say that.
Fair point.
I am saying thought through.
So that's just my own with it.
But yeah, I share in these concerns and these questions that are being asked, but it will be interesting to see what the position is going forward, and what further clarifications will be offered. Just by way of a bit more in terms of the online, Chief of Staff must intervene before Akando causes financial loss, Okuboy on LIMS contracts, and that's a subject matter that's come up very strongly. This LIMS, it's supposed to be a system that manages hospital information and ensures that we have integration of data across hospitals in the country. From what it is that we're understanding, we know that this is being hosted outside of the country. The contract has come to an end. The government had sought to, amongst many other things, get to take over, according to the health minister, and that has not proved successful. Reason why we're rolling out a new system. There are concerns about a potential financial loss. But if a contract has come to an end, is that we need to get the details of that as well.
Definitely.
And then we'll see how that goes on. Let's do myjoyonline.com quickly. If the anti-LGBTQ bill is not passed, I won't return to Parliament. That's Emmanuel Bedra speaking. I mean, he's one of the proponents of the private members.
But how does that affect your? Unless I'm not, he's not going to go to Parliament unless it is passed. So his constituents should miss out because of his position.
No, not that he will not go to Parliament.
But what's he saying?
He won't return to Parliament in the 10th Parliament if it is not passed in the 9th Parliament.
Fair point. Fair point.
You understand? Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying.
We just hope that he'll be a man of his word when it comes when it comes to the crossroads. They will not come and apologize to us like
we have a basis to believe he will be a man of his words, and
hopefully.
so we just keep tabs on and see whether or not it is passed. That's the other aspect. You can ask for wish there. How do I say? You can wish that it will be passed, but the question will remain whether or not it will be passed, and the process is as expected. It will go through it. I'll do City Newsroom.
Sure.
Air traffic safety engineers suspend planned strike, and farmers to boycott 2025 Farmers' Day celebration. Minority wants Birim Central MCE punished over Galamsey claims, and again, the Auditor General's report on how Gift Yowari was enrolled as a service person, how the former Director General as well was enrolled as a service person until all of the details got blown. And perhaps I want us to start off from there, asking the question how and why we almost always do not seem to flag any of these developments by the respective investigative bodies. Reason why perhaps I want to get a bit into the arguments by Martin Pebu, which is on 3news.com as well. And we had bits and pieces of him. Perhaps we'll hear from him as well again. But he says that the Auditor General must resign for sleeping on the job in relation to this National Service Authority ghost name saga. And the story reads, and it's by Sarah Pencrow. She says that, as she writes, that private legal practitioner Martin Pebu has called for resignation of the Auditor General Johnson Ikuamwa Esiedu from post. He's accused the Auditor General of reneging on his duty to the state by failing to protect the public purse. Mr. Pebu's comment follows latest revelation by a forensic audit by the same Auditor General that uncovered massive financial irregularities at the National Service Authority amounting to some 2.5 billion cedis. Now, according to the latest forensic and technical audit report, the losses stem from system bypasses, poor governance, payroll manipulation, and vendor mismanagement between 2018 and 2024. Now, in one startling finding, the report revealed that the Deputy Executive Director of the scheme, Gift Yowari Mensah, was wrongly listed on the scheme's payroll as a service personnel despite serving as a full-time public officer. This, the private legal practitioner finds disturbing, blaming the Auditor General for failing the country all these years. Now, speaking on Hot Edition with Martin Esiedu, that's a namesake, Mr. Pebu asks that the Auditor General honorably resigns for sleeping on the job. And there's a quote of him. I just want us to, again, perhaps just listen to Mr. Martin Pebu on this particular one. And there are many who say that not just the Auditor General, but a lot more individuals, in fact, with respect to what it is that we've seen play out. But here's Martin Pebu in his own words.
It tells me that the Auditor General had been sleeping on the job in the previous years or was conniving with the previous administration. That much we have to say clearly. Where was the Auditor General when all these things were happening? Johnson Esiedu, okay, yes, Ekuamwa, right? Where were the Auditor General and his staff all these years? And that's the first question they must answer. Elsewhere, the Auditor General would have resigned first as soon as he saw this report. He would have resigned, meaning that he's not up to the task, because if there hadn't been a change of government, these things wouldn't have come up. So I think the Auditor General should honorably resign. He and all of his management members, they should just go, because they just show that they've been sleeping on the job for all these years.
So that's him in his own words. We'll get into some of the papers as well, but you have something important which can help us situate this conversation properly.
So there's basically, we're going to read through the audit service mandate to see whether the call for the Auditor General to resign is actually a valid one, and whether the demands or the expectations of him were really within his mandate.
Right.
So now the audit service is the supreme audit institution of Ghana and one of the monitoring and accountability organs of the state. It is a public service institution set up as the machinery by which the Auditor General executes his mandate. The 1992 Constitution, Article 184, 187, and 286, has established a broad mandate for the Auditor General to carry out. These are summarized as follows. 1. To audit the public accounts of Ghana and any other public office, including the court, the central and local government, etc. To take into custody written declarations of all properties, assets owned, and or liabilities owed by persons who hold public office.
I am tempted not to allow you continue because in the first point, this should be captured if there's a proper audit that's been done. Unless we're saying that a regular annual audit of NSA, that's the National Service Authority, will not reveal these irregularities. But you proceed.
The argument also sometimes with audits is that sometimes it may take a while to actually identify a fraud in a system, because there may be a very efficient. Sometimes a lot of these things are actually difficult to find because it takes a lot of collaboration to pull through.
Right.
So it may take a while to find something of this sort. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody wasn't being efficient with their job or something. But those are just layman.
You proceed and let's see if there's one that pins him down in terms of...
to audit the public accounts of Ghana and any other public office, to take into custody written declarations of all properties and all liabilities owed by persons who hold public office, determine and approve the form or manner that public accounts shall be kept, submit audit reports on the public accounts of Ghana and the state of the central bank's foreign exchange receipts and payments or transfers to Parliament. In these reports, the Auditor General shall draw attention to irregularities in the accounts audited and make appropriate recommendations.
That's all.
There's more. May disallow any item of expenditure contrary to law
and
surcharges. So if the law says that he's supposed to identify the irregularities, and
that's what I make the point that look in the first
isn't that what he has done? I'm asking.
This was after an investigative report by a media outlet. I don't want to say drew attention, because in many of these instances, attention should be drawn by the respective agencies who are supposed to be supervising. I never speak without mentioning the FIC, the Financial Intelligence Center, because when money is moving in such volumes, and then the banks, I can't get them out of my mouth, I'll be very honest. Because when money is moving in these droves, sums, and there's the expectation there will be a corresponding work that allows you to get that. Then if you're not doing that, then there's a cause of concern. But the audits are supposed to reveal something. If not the Auditor General, the question we're asking is who? Because it cannot be the case that it must take media houses, private individuals, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need a lot more of that. I'll be honest. We need a lot more of investigative reports revealing these infractions and these blatant thievery, which is occasioned by different groupings, different, not just government-appointed individuals per se, but persons within the public sector who have come to understand the system and are having it work in their favor. They are flagged. They are taken out and dealt with ruthlessly. But if not the Auditor General, who? You understand? Because then there's a concern that, okay, then what is the basis upon all the salaries they are taking? What job are they doing? If you can't identify when someone is stealing or raping the coffers of the state, why are you there? So maybe as part of what we'll be looking out for today is be asking the question, who should be able to identify this? Is this the Ghana Police Service? Is this the Office of the Special Prosecutor? Because they as well go. But the challenge is whether or not they can be going fishing with respect to all of these other agencies. But let's just see. The papers are here as well, and so
but just a quick one to hammer on what you just said earlier. Actually, if our system was very transparent, like you are saying, once suspicious funds start hitting your account, the system should be able to flag it across
it
the board.
doesn't flag anything.
Which is what should be the case, because if somebody whose salary is like we are saying 28,000 cedis is
and the buffer stock,
for instance, is getting alerts in excess of millions of cedis in his account, and there's no other transaction whatsoever around him that should justify it, then the system should be able to pick it up, and then, like you're saying, the FIC should be able to know, and then from the get-go we start investigations. But my question on the Auditor General's report is, for issues like this, is it that by law they have to wait till, for instance, a SPAC before some of these things come up, or at what point? That's another thing we need to look at, because it then may also suppose that perhaps they had already picked up the NSA thing and were waiting to publish the report before it comes out. However, maybe the media house
upstaged them.
Probably.
No, they weren't upstaged.
You think so?
No. So what happened is, after the revelations, the Attorney General asked for a forensic audit to help us understand the gravity of what it is that's taking place. And so that's because that's when he addressed us somewhere last week. He was holding that forensic report and said that the Auditor General had completed work on it, and so this is the details, and that the figure has ballooned in excess of the 500 million, which the Fourth Estate's investigative report had revealed, to suggest that, look, this was bigger than we even thought, and a lot more. And it's not just the top guns which we are mentioning. There are persons in districts in the northern part of the country, in different parts, who put names in and were taking the money and all of that, because it's quite widespread. I think what this brings us to again is the conversation about strong institutions, right? If and when we get to the point where our institutions are strong enough, the media will still continue to play its role, but we will have these institutions lead the way. IOCO, the office, the FIC. There will be collaboration. The Cybersecurity Department, the Cybersecurity Authority, all of these are investigative bodies which are entrusted with security in one way or the other. And there will be that collaboration such that it will not require the need for a forensic audit. Because if there is anything, the National Service Authority should have been one of the institutions any security agency is looking at. Because this is not the first time we've had ghost names. In fact, in the dying days of the first time of President Mahama, there was news of a similar development or a similar happening at the National Service Scheme. At the time, it was called the National Service Scheme. And there were individuals who had been earmarked, I say earmarked advisedly, for prosecution. We don't know what happened to that because it died off. But there was a similar incident there, which then will draw everybody's attention that, okay, this is an area where people can stack up names and take money that doesn't belong to them. The entirety of all of the security apparatus went to sleep until a media outlet was able to flag these discrepancies again. If we've been able to identify that this is an area where people can steal, how come special attention was not being paid? Was there active collaboration in some parts such that because it is our government and this is happening, let's bat an eye, because if we report it, that will be bad PR for the government? All of these and more. And it's why I keep saying that when the institutions are strong, then it will not matter whose government is in power. Once there's wrong, and it will be flagged.
But it's interesting that this is why we need a lot of transparency in the system. What if we were constantly publishing the number of students that each tertiary institution is
very, very important.
Is releasing for national service, so that we can do the numbers ourselves, unless you go and connive with the schools to balloon the numbers? Well, at least that gives us a clear trail to follow. That on their website, they will publish the number of the schools. The schools will also verify them, and it's there on their website. When the totals now that we see at the end of the day released by the service become in excess of what was published, then we know that there are already red flags from the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are means through which there could be effective checks on this. I just believe that it's been a lucrative business. I'll be very honest. It's been very lucrative.
Easy money.
For persons who have been engaged and are possibly going to stand trial. And for persons not even in the Top Gun who are in the nooks and crannies in different districts elsewhere. It's been very lucrative business where you just table the names and then you're receiving very good money for no work done at all. And so the incentive will always be there. That is why they are lost, because there is incentive to do bad always. That's human nature.
Yeah.
But for loss, people will be exacting vengeance on the streets. When you are driving and someone crosses you, just get down and you slap the person and do whatever it is that you want. But if you do that, that's assault. You could go in.
Exactly.
And you could be fined, punished, whatsoever. That's what laws exist for. And so there is the incentive to do bad, but the laws must work to ensure that that's not the case. And I believe that's perhaps where we'll leave this one. And we'll look forward to a bit more in terms of prosecutions, not just the top individuals, because from the little that we've come to realize, there are people who even benefit more than sometimes some of the politicians who are named in some of the big scandals. And these are matters that must come up. But you have Ghana's what?
Daily Guide,
Right.
Ghana's favorite newspaper. Where is Sixtus to come and drum that in our ears? Well, ex-Buffer Stock CEO, wife charged over 78 million Ghana cedis theft. Speaker goes mad over MP's absenteeism. SC dismisses Eduboahin claims against judge. Lightwave clears air over digital health system shutdown. Ranak Holdings launches a 300 million Ghana cedi scale up fund, and Don Ullo just appeared. I just mentioned your name a few seconds ago and you appeared. Yeah, you know, in traditional, they say when they mention your name and you appear, it means you will live
long life. No, I have long life.
So we confer on you.
God
the title of Long Life Sixtus.
No, God loves me.
Okay. Long Life Sixtus Don Ullo.
Yeah, thank you.
Sixtus long life.
I will live long. My children will live long.
Amen.
Yeah.
All of us will live long.
Yeah, my wife will live long.
Amen. Amen.
My family will live
Say
long.
hello to her in Epe, by the way. Your beautiful wife. Your beautiful wife.
Just say Melo. That one there works.
Melo is not hello.
But no, to your wife is hello. I just saved you. Instead of you thank me, you are there.
You are there.
Say your thing. Say your thing. What were you going to say?
He can't find the word, so let me do the daily graphic. As he still thinks through what exactly it is that he can say. On the front page of the daily graphic, refuse collectors threaten shutdown, demand payment by November 7. A very interesting development, I'll be very honest. It comes with a picture of Ama Ofurua Entry, Executive Secretary, Environmental Service Providers Association, addressing the press conference. Also, government aims at stable currency. That's according to the president. New payment regime to clear road sector debt within 90 days. As according to the minister, I don't know if that's the Roads and Highways minister. Try and see if that's him or another minister that we're talking about. So it's the Roads and Highways Minister. And then PAC recommends MIF CEO for competent reforms. Those are the details. Gentlemen, your mics are active. On the back page, Health Minister uncovers $100 million e-health scandal. Rolls out 4-week fix. That's the limbs that we've been talking about. Perhaps we'll get the proper details. And then Akuse Male Prison gets borehole. Sixtus, your turn.
Yeah, so whilst
The Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Master, whilst you were saying the mics are on, let the records reflect that you were the one talking.
No, he's not serious. The times that you see, there are times he'll kill the mic. When you want to talk, then he'll kill the mic. Now that we don't want to talk to the
Yeah, let the mic on.
he has activated.
So it's his fault.
It's his fault. When they want to choke you, you're somewhere doing your thing yourself.
But right now, you felt like the boys at the back.
The most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times newspaper, says on the front page, settle outstanding arrears. ESPA urges government. Park commends MEF CEO for honesty. Institutional reforms. I think Abinau says Asari is the new the new favorite on the block, huh?
I told you she will make a fine vice president. So
no, she will.
So maybe this is building momentum.
But I think that exchange with the DVLA boss was unnecessary. It was needless.
Oh. Okay, well, I haven't seen her in that light before. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, me too. I think it wasn't necessary.
But to be fair, when you are chair of a committee and someone questions your question,
no, you see,
it can be a bit off-putting.
When you watch the
I'm
video,
not holding brief for
when
her.
you watch the video, it was clear that the DVLA boss did not intend any malice. You see, they ask you a question and I'm just wondering why this question. It's not.
Was that the words he used?
Oh, we can play the video.
Because he was surprised by the question.
No, that's not what he said. In fact, the chair, Madam Chair, actually misconstrued what the man said.
Okay.
You see, maybe that was what angered her. But
I heard him say, I was wondering why you would ask me such a question. And
No. So that was how she put it, and that sounded offensive. But when you watch the video again, I don't think it was, unless there's part of the video
I watched the video and I believe there was miscommunication somewhere or a misunderstanding between what was even the question being asked. There wasn't a certain level of clarity as to the question. Because in listening to her, I believe she answered the question she was asking herself. Because she says, why are individuals putting private details? And then in trying to expatiate on the question, she answered the question by saying that people request. Because a DVLA doesn't put names on number plate. It is upon request. So it's a special. You pay extra for that. So she answered. So that there was just a little misunderstanding.
So maybe she needed clarity on whether that trend will continue. I think maybe that's just it all.
So I think the comment passed by the DVLA boss was probably to the effect that could you clarify? I don't understand. What do you mean? You see those kinds of things.
Yeah, I was just surprised to see her in that.
So I didn't think it was necessary. I mean, unless the DVLA boss from the beginning of the engagement was being hostile or antagonistic, or when you appear before a committee and you go with a certain posturing, then the least thing you do, it triggers a certain reaction.
I get that.
Unless that was the case, I didn't watch the entirety of the engagement.
I just caught that 5 minutes clip. And
that is what is trending. But I honestly don't think it was necessary. It was so needless and unwarranted. So Park is commending MEF CEO for honesty and institutional reforms. And still on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, managed debt or risk economic setback. And Issa is speaking. VIP calls for discipline to sustain gains, and this is taken from the 14th Ghana Economic Forum. New electronic medical record system in the offing, Health Minister is revealing. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, GSA shuts down factories over substandard products. Government needs $2.3 billion to revamp, modernize VALCO. Lands Minister is pictured and quoted here, and he went on a tour of VALCO. VALCO is under Lands Ministry.
It's a natural resources. VALCO is.
Well, you are surprised it's under Lands Ministry.
Yes.
Yeah, but
from time to time I don't recall, but they move because we know Cocoa Board used to be under Finance.
Minister of Lands and Natural Resources has disclosed to this end government in collaboration with.
The way you are reading, we will not understand what.
No, I'm actually trying to get something that will link.
So, it's the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Aluminium is a natural resource.
So perhaps that explains.
So if the factory is...
but if there's a tomato factory, it could possibly be under the Food and Agri Ministry and
or agribusiness
or agribusiness or trade. So yeah, it could cut across.
Let's go.
GRA to roll out 3% tax on small businesses from November 5 is captured on the front page of the New Finder newspaper. Agribusiness chamber demands end to grain export ban. Fuel prices set to drop from November 1. That's too far. That's
by up to 8% on diesel.
Significant reduction.
Yeah.
Up to 8%.
Tentatively, we should be expecting about 60 pesos drop in the price
60
of
pesos.
Yes, 60 pesos.
But the fuel now is 12 point something.
Yeah, 12 point something. So
60 pesos is still 12 point something.
It depends on where you buy from.
No. Generally, it's 12 point something.
Well, the point is that
apart
these
from
are
our own,
ranges.
that is the state owned, that is 13 point something.
These are ranges. There's a likelihood that the OMCs may go even further.
So there's a likelihood it will go down to 11.
So we'll have to look at the floor price that the NPO will be quoting. That will then determine how much lower.
Or even the floor price, people go beneath it. People go below it sometimes.
That's an offense now to go below the.
Really?
You actually can't go below below the floor price set by the NPA.
But it's a deregulated market.
Yes, but the point is that.
But there's a reason that
the NPA's argument is that the benchmark is the standard cost build up for fuel across the country. So there's no way you can be selling below cost unless you are rigging the system. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand. Then. Well, let me just leave it. Because if you set up the
so
cost
that would have taken into consideration the margins.
Does it include profit margins?
No, it doesn't include margins.
Right,
only the cost buildup.
Then that's fine. Then there's no way you can go below it. I thought they were seeking to project what profit margins.
No. So it's just the cost buildup basically minus margins.
Minus margins.
So the cost build up without margins in there. So I think the margins is at the discretion of the OMC. So they don't add that to it. So it means that basically you can't sell lower than your cost of production.
Of course.
If
course.
you do that, then we suspect you.
So that's just to kind of regulate the market. Some people also raise red flags with that, saying that there are some people who have special arrangements that gives them maybe higher discount because somebody who buys on the spot and someone who buys on credit will have different different cost build up. Because one person will be paying premium on the 30-day, 90-day window that they are getting as against somebody who is buying and paying cash on the spot. So those are some other arguments that have been raised.
But I mean, it's good news that it will be going down because I always like it when fuel prices go down.
We'll see whether the transport operators will.
Oh no, they won't mind.
To ask for them.
They won't mind.
Good morning to Abbas Imoro. He's a good friend of ours. He speaks to us as often.
Morally, I don't think we can even ask them to reduce prices because the last time they reduced the prices, then the fuel went up again.
It went up to where? Please.
The last time
but I think at least relatively
for me, I am making the point that from whence we were, when prices went up, we haven't seen the resultant reductions as is expected, because when the year started and the prices began to drop, we literally had to be screaming our lungs out before they reduced. And that was around 13 cedis.
Yeah.
When prices got down to
around 12 or so. It was around 12.
Even below 12.
Below 12.
It did 12.
Yeah, but it came at a point.
It was around 10.
Somewhere around 10, actually. Somewhere around 10.
Let me finish, and then you understand why I'm making the point.
Okay.
That we were around 13, headed towards 12 when they reduced. And I remember very well, I was on set and I asked a question that when this reduces further, will you give us a further reduction? They said, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. It came down to 10. We didn't get any reductions. They enjoyed the windfalls. When we went back to 12 and we were inching to 13, they started asking for price increases in transport fares again. Now we're going to 11. Are they going to reduce the transport fares again? As for me, I'm a very simple man.
I recall the back and forth we had with the transport operators when the fuel prices went down. Everybody called on them, even including Abosokan friends, to reduce their prices. That was when the Abosokan people said they could not trust, or which group was it that said they could not trust the gains made? So they are giving it a few months to see whether those gains would be sustained. Then they could reduce prices. That was the conversation we had at the time. And eventually the transport operators, they reduced the fares. They did. At that period.
And at that period,
the fuel went up again. Because that was around 11,
it was
10,
because
11.
of the introduction of the energy sector.
Correct.
Yeah,
added just one CDO.
That was it.
And it went to okay. I retract just. They added one CDO, and it didn't take us to the levels we were before when they increased by 2 or 3 times. I'm making the point. You proceed. I'm trying to find what the prevailing rates were at the time when they reduced. Then I'll
come back between 10 and 11.
Come and make my argument. It was between 10 and 11.
Let me check. So they reduced transport fares in May.
In May,
okay,
exactly.
So
and what was the price per litre?
So let me cross check from at least one of the main ones in May.
No, fairly. I'm just trying to refer to the transport operators. I think some action has been taken.
We will be fair to them. I'm just trying to refer to them. In all instances, I mean, we don't have a basis.
Yeah,
not to
evidence is the name of the game.
Absolutely.
So how much is the fare from Legon to this place? 5 cities, 6 cities from Legon to this place. How much was it before 6 cities? Has it gone down or increased?
And interestingly, some of the fares actually reduced by the supposed 15%.
Exactly. No, they didn't. Yeah, so some did not go by the percentages agreed upon.
Michael will find the prevailing rates for us.
So as at May, right?
It's taking forever.
No, it will take time because there are 2 pricing windows every month. 2 pricing windows every month there. But whilst we wait for Michael, let's talk about this health ministry and this LIMS, the Lightwave contract. That story is on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, and it's of utmost importance because data with respect to citizens' data, we understand, is sitting outside the shores of the country, and also there's a potential concern that our hospitals could be without a management system for some time until the solutions are found. And so the story is by Kester Abraham Crunchy. It reads that the Minister of Health, Kwabena Minta-Kando, has revealed a litany of failures in a 100 million electronic health records contract signed by the previous government, describing the situation as an act of blackmail that has left the nation's medical data vulnerable and held hostage by a private vendor. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series at the Jubilee House yesterday, the minister announced a 4-week plan to migrate the country to a new state-owned health information system to resolve the ongoing disruptions that have plagued health facilities across the country. Now, he mentions a flawed contract where he says that the contract, which was signed in 2019, called Lightwaves to connect 950 health facilities at $100 million. Was scheduled for completion in 2022. It was twice extended to December 2024 due to poor execution. But at the time of the expiration, out of the 950 facilities, only 450 had been connected. That's less than 50%. He added that a contract that was meant for 3 years and extended to 5 years only delivered 450. Despite that, they were paid more than 70% of the contract sum, $70 million or $77 million. On data sovereignty, the minister mentions that the software known as the Lightwaves Health Information Management System, LIMS, was not owned by the state. That is also very problematic because we've entered into a number of agreements where we don't own the system and then somebody owns it and then we have to go back and be buying from the person as and when necessary. I don't quite get it. He described it as unconscionable for a private company to have exclusive access to the electronic medical records of Ghanaians without the state. Forensic audit. Upon assuming office, the current government conducted a forensic audit which uncovered significant irregularities in the project. And then he says there's a phase rollout as well with respect to this. And so that's the latest. And this is very serious. I say this, and we'll come to the fuel prices. I say this because on the back of the revelations that this health management system was costing us $100 million, there's been quite a number of people who've reacted in the negative that this cost us way too much to run as a country. And to top it off, we do not own the system. I've seen persons, young persons on X, Twitter, I like to call it Twitter, X kind of pisses me off from time to time, explaining away that, look, they have actually developed a system like this by themselves as individuals, and yet nobody has paid attention to them. They've developed a system like this for not just health management, but for the what's it called? The people in lands commission to manage data, who owns what, because the paper system there is free for somebody to tamper with. Yet we do not pay attention to any of these. Yet we continue to lie to ourselves that we want to save the country money, and we'll be engaged in such profit-making enterprises for private individuals at the expense of the state. Because $100 million, now we are being told the thing didn't even finish. They didn't enroll the 950 hospitals, and we've paid more than half for work that hasn't reached half of what is expected. Surely, we cannot proceed in this manner. And this is a fair warning to this government as well, because you are flagging these procurements and the breaches so occasion. It cannot be that in the near future, well, let me not say near future, in the future, because then there's a possible, in the future, because I've spoken to persons who are close to the government who say they don't expect to be in power forever. And that's honest admission on their parts that they will not be in power forever. When power changes hands, as and when it does, we will not come and be having conversations about how they also sign contracts like these.
We pray so.
And because we are flagging that which has been signed by the previous administration. And today, there's a latest poll that's coming up, which we'll get to understand. The NPP is suffering serious credibility crisis as a result of these revelations that continue to come up. There's a reason why oral is on every Ghanaian's lip, because they believe right has not been done by the good people of Ghana. It cannot be that you come and you be promising us oral, and then in whatever years is to come, when power changes hands, we'll come and be having discussions about what you also did.
It's beginning to sound like Egbete's bite.
Oh no, I beg you. I always say that actually, for people who know me, and have known me, because I mean I've been around small, just small. You know that these are thoughts and sentiments that I share.
Grandpa Kasa.
Yours is Egbete's tidbits.
I do not seek to call it any other thing that opinions expressed.
Egbete's opinions.
I did not see opinions which you also express.
But yours is branded.
System. Actually, I got information about this just before the 10th, just before our call to the bar, and I promised that. And this actually came from. Okay, let me mention that it came from the Nandom Hospital, where a breakdown in the system had caused, or was beginning to cause, serious long queues and putting a lot of pressure on the workers, on staff, because this was a system, or is the system, that manages records. So you get to the hospital, you don't have to carry a card. You just go in, they key in your name, process everything.
Yeah, I mean, you could
station to
access
the other.
healthcare everywhere
And
because
all
the
of
system
that.
is supposed to be
It's
connected.
linked, it's integrated.
Which means that your record, your
record or your detail,
It's
if
across
it so
everywhere.
happens that you are not able to attend your everyday hospital because there's an emergency, when you go, they should be able to pull up your medical records and say, okay, X and X and X is what you've been suffering
Yes.
from, and so let's look at in this direction.
And you know, before this, you had to be carrying your hospital card with you everywhere you went.
Yeah, I don't even know where
If you
some
were
of
traveling,
mine.
you had to have your
very
hospital
honest.
card on you. So yes, there's some good that this system did or was supposed to have done, since we don't know the details. But the other part that or revelations that we got from the health minister then raised the concerns that make us worry. Number one, why would my records be sitting with a foreigner that my own government has no control over my records?
This one, it's the same for.
You know what that means?
Ghana card.
That means that the records of the president of Ghana
Could possibly be.
not could. He's a citizen. He goes to hospital in the country.
Yeah.
In other jurisdictions, indeed, you see, the U.S. president, you cannot have access to the fingerprint of the U.S. president, the blood group or type or whatever they call it. You can't have that. His health records, you can't have access to that.
I hear Putin even travels with the portable.
Yeah.
With a portable
But you don't
potty
leave his anything anywhere.
anywhere.
Because you can trace the person's genetics, whether or not they are suffering
Exactly.
any sickness.
And you can clone the president and use him to substitute. At this point, that sounds like a conspiracy theory.
You are a conspiracy theorist at this point.
But that is
No, I
the
mean,
reason.
Yeah,
These,
Sixtus conspiracy.
No, that is the reason
It's a fair
Russia
argument.
will do this.
Yeah.
That is the reason the US will do that. That is the reason Korea will do that. That is the reason China will do that. So I don't know why the records of my president, my vice president, my speaker of parliament, my chief justice would be in the control of a foreign entity.
Right.
You know, this is where we may need probably a tech person to clarify some of these things, because I understand
It can
that.
be hosted here.
I understand that
I
we do
believe
not
we have
have.
It can be
We do
hosted
not
here.
have a data center.
It can be hosted
Oh,
here.
let me finish.
You
No,
finish.
I as much as I
Let
appreciate.
him make the
No,
point.
there's a difference between can be or whether it is available as an option, because I do understand that it's one of the challenges that actually came up during the time when the fiber optic cables were cut and we had to lose internet access for some time. I hear part of the challenge of all of this is the fact that a lot of the data centers are situated in Europe and the likes, and we don't have some of that on the continent, or probably maybe in this side of town. So I don't know if that is part of what is accounting for this. It's just
Right.
my thought. So we need a technical person to clarify some of these things before maybe we draw conclusions that may not
And you
be.
know,
Let's
in
wrap
the-
up quickly
in the-
because we have to do the.
in the compilation of the voter register,
Yeah.
this same argument came up because the biometric data of people, as had been captured at the time, was in the control of a foreign entity. It was part of the discussion at the time.
Yeah.
So are
We
you saying,
need to be conscious of.
Michael, are you saying
these?
that
I mean,
the NIA, all the records captured, they are not in the control of the government of Ghana? They are sitting with a foreign entity.
No, but
That
these-
would be a serious thing.
but the volumes with regards to NIA compared to what the Ghana Health Service will handle, I'm sure one will be
NIA will have more volumes.
not
than-
at all. Remember that.
what are you talking about?
Remember that NIA starts from a particular age group. It's up until
yeah,
recently.
NIA will have pretty much the entire population because they started
Yes.
rolling out cards to persons to the younger.
and there are
to the
people who
younger
are receiving
population as
healthcare who are not registered under the NIA too. So the volumes I think will be on the side.
Please,
of it. But
let's
these are
draw
just my-
conclusion on whether or not the transport operators.
Okay, so
what did you find?
according to the records, as at the 5th of May, that is a few days before the announcement of the drop in transport fares, Goa was selling fuel at 13 cedi 69
There
pesos.
are 12 regions, right?
13 cedi 69
He's
pesos.
giving you a specific figure.
Specific figures was 13 cedis. Star Oil was selling at 12.99.
Yeah.
So it was around this time that
When
they announced a transport fare reduction because actually in March, Star Oil was selling at 14 cedis 99. So it means that between March and May, fuel prices had dropped by 2 cedis.
Reason why we called on it.
When
it came down further, when it came down further to 10, they didn't drop again because that was more than 2 cedis drop.
Well.
If we see a more than 2 cedis increase, there's always a noise that they want to increase transport.
Their argument,
they have to do right by us.
Their argument at that point was the fact that remember that the spare parts dealers had stated that they needed some more time before they were. And even if you go to the market today,
when you speak
on the side of the spare parts dealers was the question of sustainability. Whether the gains could be
when the thing rises, we don't do sustainability conversation.
Spare parts are still not come down. It's actually gone up in some quarters.
So I think we can't go and regulate prices on the market.
Spare parts dealers.
Because even if we use the spare parts argument, drivers don't buy spare parts every day.
But it is part of their cost buildup. We can't negate that. Looking at the nature,
some do.
Look at the nature.
You buy spare parts every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes, it depends on the nature of your road, the condition of your road.
Every day.
It's like you don't buy anything every day. Even fuel, do you buy fuel every day?
So fine. So not.
You don't buy drivers buy fuel every day. They buy fuel every day. That's a major component of. No, it's not beyond reasonableness. Do you buy spare parts every day?
Don't let him say. Put it to him.
Do you buy fuel? Do you buy spare parts every day? You don't buy spare parts every day.
What's your definition of every day?
But every day is every day, my brother. Every day
is every day, as in every day.
If you begin to change your under parts every month, that is abnormal. So that becomes every day. Do you get it? That becomes every day. And the roads in parts of this town are not good. My road particularly is not good. The life
let me
don't last.
He's speaking from experience. Listen to him.
Yes, he's speaking from experience. So if a driver comes to tell you that the spare parts is a big part of the cost buildup, you can't argue with them.
We will not argue with them. That's not what we're doing. The point I'm seeking to make is that we all seated around this table can come to one definite conclusion that
which is
transport or fuel prices are the single biggest reason, or is the single biggest reason why transport operators increase transport fares.
That is true.
It is when the conversation of a reduction comes about. We were even told insurance has not gone down at some point. So we cannot allow people to pick and choose when it suits them. That's the point I'm making.
All that you have said has highlighted one major problem or one underlining factor. The fact that you cannot leave public transportation in the hands of private individuals. Fair.
Thank you very much.
It's going to happen for the next 10 years.
Thank you very much.
If not more. Unless the big push agenda has some transport.
Metromas says they are going to bring in more buses, and
I hope they are bringing electric buses too, so that at least it can be cheaper.
He mentioned that.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Right. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
We are beginning to put a lot of emphasis on electric buses.
Yeah.
I recall that in the very few years ago, we started rationing power because our water had finished or was finishing. Do we have enough water now?
It's okay.
Is our power sustainable?
It's okay. We are trying to build a second gas processing plant.
Our cars cannot move because we don't have power to.
Well, the good part is at least you can set up solar systems.
That is why I'm coming to. Let's rather emphasize solar.
All of that and more. We have to go for this break and then get to have listeners calling us. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for helping us through the review here on the 3FM Sunrise. Quickly, before we go for that break, there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the Advtech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, a British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana City and Guilds UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding and customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026 intake. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Pebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. We're back after this quick spot of commercial, and then we hear from you.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
The best in the morning is on 92. Sunrise on 3FM. Sunrise on 3FM. In the morning.
And we're back here, 28 minutes to the top of the hour. I want to just lay down a few in terms of ground rules for our call-in segment. We're a bit constrained with time, and so today, when you call in, kindly go straight to the point, and let's hear from you. And I'm just going to go on to my very first caller. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please, and I trust that you're well.
Yeah, but this is Ajime Victor calling from Keta.
Ajime Victor, let's hear from you quickly. Today, the time is small, so just do a brief, and let's proceed.
Yeah, that is fine. My boy, the level of corruption during the Akufo-Addo government is just mind-boggling. Look at the money just a single soul has allegedly looted this country. People are stealing to the extent of almost 70-something million Ghana cedis. Just one person. Look at the house the Baba Stockman is building at Chado, East Airport. My brother, I think all have to all the loot from these people and make sure, and Ghanaians have to make sure, and people never test power in 20 years' time. We need to clean the system. Have a good morning, my brother.
Thank you very much, Victor, for calling. 055-924-2717. We lost this one on the phone lines. 055-924-2717. That's one of our numbers which you can get through to us, and 055-691-0154. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, oh. Ato, let's hear from you quickly. Yentio, let's hear from you quickly.
Okay, but I'm Kasapi for Quasi. But when many of when Mamintia, Johnny, the Kubushan, and also by Madame Edema, a papa telephone the living upon count on the one casamo. However, when you develop a capacity a different friends or so organizing. It is a never fancy the NSS boss company for the other capacity because a PSS or some company. Roma. Or catch from second episode is our fast track court you. I mean, for some more capacity for you. I'm not a separate another dibino. The lady is my fast track comment them. It's my show case now. I show moons and next a bit more Ghana for a bit magic scanner that support the Ghana economy now. It's much so. Because in America, I'm beginning to my text jacket, your no discussion, the Ghana for the Ghana for. They are going to think it's the only case in Namayano. It's going to be as you know, Kobana Bakopono to me, just come to them, Mepasa could go back in the means. They would need them. As a Mepasa, a pension months or in Satan Catachan Poena. Can I come with but twice I conform? No man penny panadol, my big job with this Capia, who am or she didn't fire from my wind and fan so. That is a form of some good, my dear, this Kajmakafin and so. And it's boss. It was Kajmakafin, you'll be a couple of canon,
Right, thank you very much, Atul, for calling as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name, where you're calling us from, and I hope that you're well.
My name is Ike Lord, calling from Zinupum Katamansu.
Ike Lord, let's hear from you quickly.
My way, almost say some way we a presidential term non per se anka yen standing on. Maybe I come on qua and can DC bar yen standing on MPP bar near 2 years.
That will not be possible. That will not be possible.
And come on, because I'm no my best ten years in Abasa, remember this I know my best by 40 years time no mobile no mamma 2 years. Well, it's a year corruption, a year come once MCCA. Nipa baako for any more no just omo for man is omo jano mo bi BNT emra no ya so man penyi say yen ye koto aba yen branch executive ye kofom ko ye campaign emma no because of corruption now o ka to ba obe set up court am ye di o ma tem wa ye so ko demu ye so discover dia wo dia ba no nti omo modia say that am no kan no at least by 10 months ye dia anka mian se bi kura mpo twin nsam ma anka ye because then go for you say a man or movie or that your woman about the catcher say more papa no man bobra no more to the cave no money in the US no more school 9 year bread or money MPP for no more scanning in a no more years kamayen no more is I no more boating in the omoye micha onabo ashmo and now no penalty chamaju.
Thank you very much, Ike Lord, as well for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from.
Please, my name is Aziz. I'm calling for Domi.
Aziz and Domi, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. May God bless you. Yame embo ho ba no yo kese papa wa na adwuma pa wo ye ma. We da misrewo. Tisi anu bebi o ma ne ko no a. Na MPP fo to mu ye de o mu pe a. Me ma ju ha me ntiase o. Ye be sire ye ma mpene excellency attorney general. De enti na ye tuaba e ja ma NDC ni se nkrofo mu lutu o ma we. No mu di o ma we sika no a. Ye ji sika no ebra na de ese efata omo no so no na mra ne ye de endi omo di enye se bia riba gain na wan na omo ka bra bro tinti di sa no enye onu na Ghana for eshisho de eshisho dis enye ye sika because if you no a who dey share papa we ye fa ne sample COC ana mo fa ne say oda wan na wa cheda akose mako ho obi na wadi Ghana sika no di ni aba bonti na ye nyina ya he say papa no ya ade akoro last year obeka si yemfa paper na odi be hwehwe odi ni be kokon to no paper na ye mbaye ka papa na wadi ye sika former attorney general former finance minister and odi ye sika na wajani no a me pa so fresh papa we mbra ene na odi mi woni mba ene a odi mi man aba but yes nim de papa na eye odi ade ndi ye ba sire mo say the essence pattern no a omunye na omoni de no omoni ko ne because the uko TDC ono a the director na ye duma no a we mu say na omujo omani ho charisma kafi omujo omani ho uko na yazuma no su no a de yo so eye no a omujo omani ho 24 economy no a eye duma ho but the MPP eye parliament no a ye ba sire parliament na ye omani say ye shem na ho enye concept no na ye wo
right
omani ye mbo former president abaso na city na eba from na ye mbo na abaso onibody city e di 40 and you 40 the papa mbo o di concept in city e na ene omo pelu papa bi aba no they are back NCD sa mo se ye go bomb ke ni da na odi eya me pa to property internet you know we e ofo no enya ba ma ni na ye ti ho.
Right, thank you as well for calling and sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena. How are you doing? Lincoln.
Mr. Lincoln, let's hear from you quickly as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning to Joe Ashama, Siracoles President, and MC for Kaswa, Honorable Seth Banini, for the good job he's doing there, together with the MP, Honorable Phyllis Nakoyu, Greater Accra Chairman, Honorable Ashimo, maybe I will be Anyamin Shanu. You earlier talk about transport operators. Let me tell you something. We are not being fair to ourselves when it comes to transportation or transport operators in this country. Look at the gains. Look at how fuel price has been dropping. And let me tell you, the vehicle or the car has over 30 to 40,000 parts come together to make the vehicle move. If you reduce, according to, if you look at the way the transport operators are doing, it's like when you reduce the fuel, they shift to another part. They will tell you today, what are they talking about? Fuel price is down for so many months now. They say, oh, spare parts are expensive. Reduce the spare parts today. They will tell you the car tire is expensive. They will tell you oil. They will tell you so many things. Let's be fair to ourselves. The way this government is transparent with the people. So we are pleading with the transport operators. We those who take car like 2-3 times before getting to job. We know what is happening. Nobody run transport business and don't make a gain. I'm from transport home, so I know what I'm talking about. Unless you don't maintain the car. And as the one of you rightly said, how do you buy spare parts every day? If they are saying that they buy spare parts every day, that means they can work. Because immediately you buy the parts, you have to go to garage and fix it. And fixing the parts, it takes almost the whole day. So they should be fair to Ghanaians. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lincoln, for calling in as well. Hello, good morning.
Name.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you quickly.
The ground rule that you put across, what I beg of you.
Today, let's read.
But I before gone against it, so I beg of you, let me just...
you do it for me quickly. Do it for me quickly.
Okay, Charlie. Today, you know, at this school and then transfer them quick, what's it?
Science and math quiz?
Good. So let me get the saddle on the hill where the most welcome me live. Charlie, play up at this school. Santa for life.
What is that? There's a special anniversary today.
Come again.
There's a special anniversary today, I guess.
Today is National Science and Math Quiz.
Oh, so you are returning to the contest, and so you're excited.
So, we are there. We are in the quarterfinals. Something we want to eliminate Brentford College and then Fanston.
We look forward to that. And when you don't eliminate them, what is going to happen?
We will go to semi-finals, then win. Then go to finals. Then we are winning.
Fantastic.
The Zebra Boys. Now, my brother, see what is happening. And what do you call it? This Auditor General something. He has to resign. And again, see the mess that MPP caused our dear nation. The mess that has stopped National Signal Bureau, left, right, and center. And they even went into Maslog. Maslog, you have my dad's name, my friend Martin's name, then this one's name, it's for just name. Why? MPP. See, I thank Almighty God that Ghanaians really voted them out. I get to my point. And so let's give thanks to Almighty God, then praise His Excellency John Mahama and his team, that is Julius Debra, the Chief of Staff, Bank of Ghana Governor, Maslog Boss, Abigail, the CEO, Abigail, let's praise them for doing a wonderful job. The Nigeria PSC, man, then the young guys who have come on board, the CEOs like Peter Mensah and Shipyard, and then Koyo Dankwa, and the rest of the team.
Right.
Never should we ever vote for MPP to come to power again, Mawuena.
Thank you, Papa Visio. Thank you very much for joining in the call-in segment as well. Let's hear from you quickly as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Rose, Queen of the Airways.
Rose.
Ashaiman, Lebanon.
Ashaiman, Lebanon. I don't think I've been to Ashaiman, Lebanon. I think the only part I've been to is Zenu, and then different parts of Ashaiman.
I'll pass Lebanon before Zenu.
I'll pass Lebanon before Zenu. Okay, so let's hear from you quickly. We still have some 6 minutes before sports comes out.
Let me say good morning to Ketaka Regional Chairman, Honorable Achimo. Then my father, Honorable Dan Amate Mensa. Many of them Mamembo NDC Penifoni Nabaso, special appointees are His Excellency John Dramani Mahama appointed ministers Nisi Unina. Almost say Nunyam Papa, Becca Crebinum, almost some of them. Many are corruption. We say 2024. Only idea Ghana for a bufu ye pass special youth. Editor Abatia, Abindada Echumo MPP government, because the way almost corrupted this country is very bad. And to make say, let's see, John Dramani Mahama say, Jidina youth war ni mo amutu abaman was abani second coming. Omo said ni nana say MPP for no omo wia o man sika omo jisika no ma o man no na mfanya mpuntu juma ema o man no. Na Ghana emrana omo kase emna o Ghana no emna ene nkofo no endi eya na ye me ya say up to now former finance minister Edaso Abushi say bi o say wonnim say wondi o mai boni a denti na wo dwane menua umbo o mai kro no denti na wo dwane akotena mo no say umba wo krom enti me say ye penyefo fa kwan bia so ne papa no ba Ghana no mbegi ni ho anu ye sika na omo wia ye ne abadada fo ni na omo wia ye no. Thank
you very much, Rose, as well, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from, please?
My name is Ralph.
I didn't catch that.
Ralph,
I trust that all is well with you. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, all is well with me. But you see, the time has come, we need to speak to Ghanaians.
Right.
We the youth, from today going, we should never allow entity to come power again. They are killers. See the morning.
Ralph, let's slow down. We can't describe them as such. Retract it for me quickly, otherwise I'll have to take you off. You can't call them killers, I beg you.
Hello?
You can't call them killers, I beg you.
Okay,
fine. I mean, you can express your opinion, but just retract and then make the point quickly.
You understand you. But what I want President Mahama to do, though President Mahama have this country in the heart, he's going to change this country before he can end. After he can, we the youth, we are not going to never bring entity. But we will never be president. Because the way they have destroyed the country. Sometimes when even listen to me, last weekend I need just 3,000 to act my money and go and buy India Abosukai. I want to look before, and someone can even I don't know, like even put your hand in government money, transfer to another account, and like with the you guy we are me, I pay tax. Anything I buy in this country, I pay tax. So actually. Waste our time. Some will be spending money, and the person imagine that maybe I meet some wife or so with the daughter or son. You tell me, my guy, you can sound Barbara. Barbara, you put your hand in the taxpayer money. It's not all money. Sometimes I don't blame them because I'll blame the ex-president because the says there's money in Ghana, but because anything people don't know how to steal money. So now
I don't recall him saying that, but Ralph, your point is well made. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Honorable.
Give us your name and where you're calling us from quickly. We have just 2 minutes, so that I've picked the last call. Bright from Abosokai. Do this for me in 30 seconds so I can pick the last call and then we do sports.
Let me say good morning to Honorable Alaja Kondo, in charge of operation, and the Honorable Pikachu and the Honorable Alaji Raouf. Ushia, Shika, a month for 80. Ushia 2024 election now Ghana for over 2 years. It's about corruption against MPP Abano that time. She gives no worry. She corruption for corruption. Nyama waya and she say oh yeah. sika afa mame we sem aye betimi dia ye nyama bebre e wo man Ghana mo hwe ECG hwe corruption a ekoso e wo public account committee it ye besre se Excellency John Dramani Mahama any attorney general omugo bia say obi biara a wafa kwan bi so abo man we kro no say yeah, man, any be names can everything. Right. If I know my knee, on my so woko on Sawamono, so Omokono, Omobomodia, so on Besa, Ediamagana for.
Thank you. Let me pick the final caller. Hello, good morning. Just quickly, do this for me in 15. Let us know your name and where you're calling us from, please. Today we're press with time. Yes, Ni from Nungwa, right? Kweku, let's hear you quickly. Kweku in Nungwa.
My concern is call it. When you call and be greeting people, for me it's very irritating. If you want to call a person and greet a person. You don't come on radio. I'm greeting this, I'm greeting this, I'm greeting this. Please, you have to do something about it.
Right.
To people's greeting. If they want you to create greeting session for them, let us know. What is you call and you are greeting people? What is that? What's the meaning of that?
All right, Ni. Thank you as well for calling and sharing your thoughts with us. I appreciate you and for the concern. That's Kweku in Nungwa, and he makes a point that he doesn't like when people call in to do a lot of greeting. But it's time for us to bring you the very latest from the world of sport. Akosia is here on standby, should do that for us, after which we'll return and get into the big conversation.